Welcome to the 6th module in this mini course on community-engaged implementation science. Today we'll be talking about disseminating for different audiences. Our goals for this module are to discuss how to choose your audience, to go through different channels you can disseminate your results through, and then to end with an example of dissemination from a study at the University of Florida. So first, let's talk about choosing your audience. Before choosing your audience, it's helpful to understand what the goal of your dissemination is. Do you want to raise awareness and let others know about the research you're doing? Is that to people within your own institution or outside of it? Do you want to inform community members about your research? Are you trying to get feedback on your research? Is that from the community, other researchers, practitioners? Do you want to promote your results? Again, would that be to the community, to your research field, to practitioners or policymakers? As we've already started to touch on, there are a few key audiences that most dissemination efforts focus on. Traditionally, dissemination has been primarily focused on sharing with other researchers within academia. But for those conducting community-engaged research, sharing the results of the research back with the community that you conducted the research in aligns with key principles of community-based participatory research and helps build longer-lasting trust and relationships. Additionally, if you want the results of your research to have a wide-ranging impact, you need to consider sharing those results with practitioners and policymakers. For all these audiences, it's important to have a clear message and specify any actions you think people should take based on the results. Once you know your goal, your audience, and your message, you can consider the different ways to reach them. For community dissemination, you can present at community events, share the results with and through community organizations, use traditional news media like radio, newspapers, TV, or social media like Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter. Most researchers are familiar with traditional dissemination strategies like writing journal articles or presenting at conferences. Even in this setting, it can be helpful to consider additional strategies like social media, as articles with a larger social media impact tend to be cited more frequently, though this association could be more of a correlation than causal. Consider including stakeholders and community members who have contributed significantly to your project as co-authors and co-presenters for dissemination to academic audiences. Practitioners in public health tend to use journals less frequently than researchers, in part because of difficulty accessing them. So if you tend to publish your results, doing them in an open access journal can overcome this hurdle. Additionally, disseminating your results through workshops and seminars, professional organizations, and media may be more effective than traditional journals and conferences to reach this audience. For policymakers, setting up a one-on-one meeting with a staff member can be a great way to start a conversation and share your research. Additionally, writing a one-pager or white paper to communicate your research in ways that are more familiar in a policy setting can be helpful. It's important to tie your research into the issues that are important to that policymaker's community or jurisdiction. And sharing stories from community members can be particularly helpful. Now that we've walked through some different dissemination strategies, let's talk through an example of community dissemination from Northwestern. We'll go over the question together, and then you'll pause and take a second to consider your answer. A study from the Northwestern Feinberg School of Medicine was focused on improving physical activity in South Asian women to prevent heart disease. For the study, they partnered with the Metropolitan Asian Family Services Organization. What are some dissemination strategies they could use to share study results with the community members? Pause and consider your answer. Researchers at Northwestern shared their results by hosting events with the Metropolitan Asian Family Services Organization that incorporated family exercise. They displayed study posters at the community center, and they wrote articles in local newsletters. Finally, let's talk about a research project at the University of Florida. The Promote Up study is a tobacco cessation study that has tried to disseminate their results to both academic and community audiences. They have done numerous poster presentations at academic conferences to reach other researchers. They've also done direct community outreach, like an appearance on a local Spanish language podcast, Cafe CBOB, to talk about the research study and the importance of tobacco cessation more generally. This ends our 6th module on disseminating results for different audiences. Congratulations on finishing the last video in the course.